to Tell the Truth. And here sitting in for Gary Moore is your host for today, Bill Collins.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. That's funny for me. Thank you. You're nice. I appreciate it. Welcome to Tell the Truth. Thank you, John, and very nice people. Hey, our first guest today is the manager of a place that boasts, and I read from the mug here, "We were here before you were born." That's what it says. In addition, they also say, here's the other one, it says on here, "Good ale, raw onions, and no ladies." Well, 1/3 of that claim has gone by the boards, and we'll find out more about this right after we meet our panel here on To Tell the Truth.
Peggy Cash, Mark Goodson, and Kitty Carlisle.
Did you like that?
I sure did.
My German father-in-law taught me how to do that.
That's very elegant.
He also taught me how to drink. For obvious reasons. Not me. Anyway, panel, I'd like you to you watch your monitor down there. Everybody can see it, I hope. I want you to take a look at a very recent photograph. There. You recognize any of those faces? Look closely.
Yes.
Yeah, you do?
No. I know who
Peggy?
that is.
Who Peggy?
I bet those women libs going into some fella's preserve.
Well, no.
McSorley's.
You know, they are the young lady from our own To Tell the Truth staff.
Oh, I wish I hadn't said anything.
Yeah. Anyway, they were down there to McSorley's Ale House for light refreshment. Light refreshment? They're not back yet. Anyway, for over a century, McSorley's has refused to admit women. But that, as you all know, is ancient history now. Let's meet the manager of the celebrated saloon.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Daniel O'Connell Kerwin.
Number two.
My name is Daniel O'Connell Kerwin.
Number three.
My name is Daniel O'Connell Kerwin.
Okay, panel, as you know, your job is to find out which one of these three young fellas is Daniel O'Connell Kerwin. Don't you love that name? Here's his Maldi message. I, Daniel O'Connell Kerwin, am the manager of McSorley's Old Ale House. For 116 years, this famous New York saloon was off limits to women, and in the eyes of many, this was its particular charm and virtue. But now, alas, we have to serve women as well as men. This was the decision handed down by the City Council, which outlawed discrimination based on sex in public accommodations. I have mixed feelings about women being permitted to storm our legendary male bastion. For while there is tradition on the one side, there are the waves of change on the other. I should add, however, that in the many years that my family has been associated with McSorley's, none of our women folk ever passed through its doors during working hours. And this included the actual owner of McSorley's, my very own mother. Signed, Daniel O'Connell Kerwin. Okay, while you bend your elbows to write questions, we're going to drink in a few messages. I have a tremendous idea how to strike back in the name of men at women's liberation. I'm going to take home, right after this show, a real McSorley's mug and hit my wife with it. That made a big hit out there. All right, now keep in mind, all three of these fellas claim to be Daniel O'Connell Kerwin, manager of McSorley's Old Ale House. Well, Peggy, I won't say this is your field, but isn't it?
Number two, how did you feel when all those girls marched into your place?
Personally or
Yeah, personally.
business-wise? I wasn't there at the time, but I didn't like to see the tradition broken.
Number three, have the male customers fallen off since this terrible event happened?
No, they're still coming in. It's kind of like a show right now.
Do you think that those girls will level off?
I think so. I think it's more a curiosity than anything else.
Number one, I don't mean to be indelicate, but do you have a ladies' room?
No, we haven't.
Ha! So, well, they can't stay long then. ale do you have?
2,
What are they?
ale and porter.
And you have number 3, do you serve your Guinnesses cold or warm?
We don't serve Guinness.
Oh. Number 1, what's your...
You sure have a vast knowledge of many things.
Absolutely incredible.
Right. I can't say the same for you, Mark, but it's your turn.
No? All right. I must say, by the way, these 3 men look less like bartenders and more like philosophers, each one. Number 3, tell me about the day the ladies came.
Well, it was kind of a sad day in one way, that it was the end of a tradition for 116 years and probably the beginning of a sign of the times and change.
Well, did they come in under, they just walk in and burst in? I mean, anybody try to stop them?
Well, until the official time, there were a lot of militant types that were waiting outside to be the first one in.
Militant types? Anybody burn their brassieres?
Not quite.
I'll drink to that.
Why was this tradition developed, do you think, of no women?
Well, when McSorley's was opened in 1854, it was unheard of for women to be seen in a public house.
Number 1, how many women now have been coming in, would you say, daily?
It's been tapering off. The first few days, there were a lot of people down, a lot of girls down to be shown on television.
Number 2, do they drink the same kind of...
Thank you, Mark. Kitty, have you ever been in a saloon?
I don't think so.
Well, go ahead anyway.
Number 2, it says here that your mum is the owner. Didn't Mum come in to see how you were minding the store when it was closed even?
When it was closed, yes.
I'll bet she did. Number 3, what is porter?
Porter is it's a beverage made from dried malt. In other words, the malt would be burned a bit more than on ale.
Number 1, do you give free lunch?
No.
And number 3, were you the one that fought with that first lady who came in? I saw a picture of a great scuffle.
No, I wasn't.
Number 2, did you fight with her?
No, indeed.
Number 1, who fought with her then? Was it a bartender or a patron?
There were no fights.
There was I saw it. Well, I thought I saw it. And number...
Thank you, Kitty and Durwood. We end up with you.
Thank you, Bill. Number 1, how long, sir, have you been the manager?
For 8 years.
And number 3, how long have you been the manager?
8 years.
Number 2, did your dear mother teach you your trade?
No, she didn't.
Number 1, who taught you?
We grew up with it.
Number 3, what does it mean when someone says they're going to rush the growler?
They're going to rush the growler, you mean?
Rush the growler.
Rush the growler by taking out ale in a growler, is that what you mean?
Yes. Oh, you've been around a long time, haven't you? Would you believe it, number 2, if I told you in your 116 years of existence, I've never been in your establishment? I regret to report that. Have you ever seen me there?
I never have, no.
No. Number 1, have you ever seen me there?
No.
You go there?
Number 3, how do you make a martini?
Too late, Durwood.
Too late.
114 years, and I was only in there once to use the ladies' room. They didn't have it. Wasn't it? Thank you, Stanley Scott. Rush the Growler, Durwood, huh? You go back as far as I do with Rush the Growler. All right, panel, you're going to vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. $50 for each correct answer. Hey, Peggy?
Well, I don't think it's number 2. Number 1 used a fine alcohol expression called tapering off, but I didn't vote for him. I think the one who's named after the great liberator Daniel O'Connell is number 3.
Okay, Mark.
I really have no idea about this. They all look fine, except that I took the Rush the Growler cue from Durwood, and I voted for number 3 as well.
Oh, you go back, too. Kitty?
Well, I voted for number 2. He looks like he's firm and could bounce out unruly patrons, and he looks like he has a sense of humor, which you'd need to run that kind of an establishment.
Durwood.
Well, I think, Bill, number 1 looks like a very distinguished gentleman, meaning no offense to you, number 2. But when we came to the growler thing, number 3 really hit it right on the head, so my vote goes for him.
Okay, we have 1 for 2 and 3 for 3. Will the real Daniel O'Connell Kerwin please stand up?
Number one, sir, you did a fine job and obviously know your way around. Who are you, sir, and what do you do?
My name is Tom Beasy. I'm with Westinghouse Electric International Company as an engineer.
Thank you, sir. Number two, who are you, sir?
My name is Bob McLeod, and I'm the president of the United States Darting Association.
Happy to have you with us. You know, we don't have too much time to talk, but Daniel, I want to ask, what was it that your mother said when someone asked at the 100th McSorley's anniversary why she, as a lady owner, had never entered the premises?
She said that cocktails and sawdust don't mix, and that the ladies prefer cocktails, and that the sawdust should be left to the boys in the back room.
Your mother is a fine broth of a lady, sir. Thank you all very much for being with us on the television. Our next guest is a young man who has whirled and twirled his way into a national championship. We'll meet him in just a moment as our program rolls along. It's getting worse. All right, let's meet our youthful champion.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Ricky Lowe.
Number two.
My name is Ricky Lowe.
Number three.
My name is Ricky Lowe.
All right, here's Ricky Lowe's statement, and wait till you hear, panel. Listen carefully, if you will. I, Ricky Lowe, am the national hula hoop champion. As I revolved and rotated with rhythm and gusto, my whirling body was encircled by no less than 4 hula hoops at one time. It was really something to win the title because 750,000 hula hoopers competed. Not in the finals, of course, because by that time, all but 12 kids had been eliminated. I received a beautiful trophy for winning, in addition to a $1,000 bond. However, it was just a simple statistic that gave me the most pleasure. You see, I am the first boy who has ever won. Signed, Ricky Lowe. You notice, panel, how we balanced an otherwise delicate issue there. McSorley's and Durwood, be our guest.
Thank you, Bill.
Not that you aren't.
Number two, how old are you, Ricky?
I am 12.
Number one, how old are you?
14.
And number three?
13.
You're all very good-looking boys, I'll say that. Now, Ricky, number one, is this an annual event?
Yes.
And number three, you say that you're the first boy to win. How many girls competed against you?
There were 9.
In what area? Here in New York?
Right around the waist.
In California.
Oh, around the waist.
Ask it the question.
Number two, you say you twirl. You're getting sick, Bill. Number two, you say you do 4 of these hoops at one time?
Yes.
I had a very dear friend one time who did this with 5 and screwed himself 4 feet into the ground. Would you believe that? No, absolutely.
All right. Peggy, what do you want to do about this?
Number 2, where were the contestants from all over the country?
Yes.
And number 1, where were the finals held?
In Hollywood, California.
Thank you. Number 3, is yours a special hula hoop that you worked on, or is it a plain old ordinary hula hoop?
It's an ordinary one.
You didn't doctor it up at all?
No.
Thank you. Number 2, how long did you keep the hula hoop going? The 4 going for?
For about 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Thank you. Number 1, do they count, what are you judged on, grace or length or what?
Grace and originality.
Originality.
Yes.
Number 3, where did the hula hoops go on you? 1 around your waist, 2 around your arms, or what?
1 around my hand, 1 around my neck, 1 around my waist, and 1 around my knees.
Holy cow. That must be very hard to do.
Mark Goodson has a hula hoop in his office. Mark, do you want to continue this?
Sure do. May I, first of all, recapitulate what Durwood said about the fact that you are 3 very attractive, handsome boys. I think it's marvelous. Number 1, where are you from?
New York.
You're from New York. Number 2, where are you from?
I'm from West Palm Beach in Miami.
And
Florida.
Florida. In Miami. Good. Number 3, where are you from?
Portland, Oregon.
Let me ask you a question, fellas. You know about this spot and I don't. Is there any likelihood that any members of the panel are going to be called on to whirl these hoops after the spot? Do you know about that, number 3?
Yes.
We are going to be called on to do this?
Yes.
You wanted to be on this show, Mark? There we watch.
The reason I asked that is I have a partner called Bill Taubman I keep for just these occasions.
Oh, well. Hey, Kitty, would you like to bail us out?
In view of the fact that I just heard something absolutely dreadful, number one, have you ever seen a grown-up do it properly?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Number two, what other kinds of original ways did the other people in the contest use the hoops?
Well, they do the wrap the mummy. That's from the neck all the way down.
Oh, I see. Up and down, yes.
And you put two on your arm. One goes one way and the other goes the other way.
Oh, that's very good. Number three, how many girls and how many boys in the finals?
There were 9 girls and 3 boys.
And number two, you come from Miami. Did they pay your way to California?
No, I come from West Palm Beach.
I mean West Palm Beach. Did they pay your way?
No.
Okay, that's it. He just lived in Miami a short time. You're ready to vote now. You can vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. $50 for every wrong answer. All right, Durward, you got a vote there for us?
Yes, I have, Bill. These boys were all very good, but I'm going to go with number 2 because just for one thing that he said, I used to be pretty good at what he calls wrap the mummy. Yeah. So I'll go, oh my goodness, my head's
You sort of look like you were good at that, Durward.
I'm such a liar. Oh.
Peggy?
Well, you're all adorable, but I think it's Ricky Lowe number 3 because he said that he did one with his hand, and that sounds so professional that I think it's you.
Phil Todman's partner?
Well, I tell you, I'm sort of outthinking the producers because Ricky Lowe would be a Chinese name. They have a Chinese board, therefore it's probably number 1.
Aha! He hasn't met Fritz Lowe.
Right. Well, I voted for number, there could be any of them. I voted for number 2 absolutely on a hunch, and I just hope to goodness that they don't call on me.
Okay. Let's see, we have 1 for 1, 2 for 2, and 1 for 3. Will the real Ricky Lowe please stand up? Boys do a bit here, you see, a little choreography. Whoa, this is clever. Wait till you see this. There, whoops. Up, there. Now watch this because, boy. There he is. Very good. Hey, let's quickly, let's meet our imposters who both did a sensational job. Number 1, who are you, sir, and what do you do? What do you do? You go ahead.
My name is Kevin Jones, and I'm a recent graduate from St. Clement Pope.
Good for you. Congratulations. Number 2, formerly of Miami, now West Palm Beach, number 2.
My name is Eric Donahue. I live in New York City, and I go to school at IS-70.
Okay, I'll tell you. All right. Ricky, come on out here. Yes, Mark?
Sign down there.
It says yes. Ricky, come on over. The sign says, Ricky, come on over here and do your little bit for us. Ricky's going to do a demonstration for you. Come on, Rick. Sign also says, do not interrupt the MC. All right, Ricky Lowe. Too much. Hey, panel, so no one will be embarrassed, why don't all of you go on over there? Imposters, you fellas, too. Go on over there, center stage. I'll keep the dignity of the show over here. Oh, they'll show you there'll be nothing. Go ahead, Kitty. Mark, Durward. Oh, go on, Kitty. I'll stay with you, Kitty. You're lonesome. Not that I can't do it. All right, go ahead. Here we go. Give a little music. Beautiful.
In addition to the cash awards, our first team of challengers will receive for the lady in his life a sparkling rhinestone bracelet, earrings, and pin set designed by Sarah Coventry called Leading Lady. Evening Elegance by Sarah Coventry. Our second team will receive Holiday Magic High Tide toiletries for men. Includes cologne, aftershave, and soap, a special assortment for good grooming for men of every age, all by Holiday Magic.
Hey, beautiful. Bet you thought I couldn't do it, didn't you? I'll see ya. Bye out there.
Promotional consideration provided by American Airlines. Traveling on business or traveling for fun, it's good to know you're on American Airlines. Hotel accommodations courtesy Delmonico's Hotel on fashionable Park Avenue, ideal for gracious living. Visit famous Delmonico's restaurant for superb continental cuisine. This is Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.